We want every side to come together to attempt to take down the 100 side.
Man, they gotta
We want
understand,
all the
Wack.
smoke.
We go off the content.
Three, two, one. Hey there, welcome back to the channel where we keep it real. No capping. I'm your host, bringing you nothing but straight fire and authenticity. Today, we're diving into 12 rooms that I got to promote. The 100 ENT showroom, hosted by Big Wack100. The Beehive room. Love and R&B room, hosted by the queen of the 100 side, R&B. No room for the weak. No mercy room. Spin the block room. 100 ENT Jailbreak Squad room. 100 ENT South room. Petty Betty and Toxic Tanya room. Dangerous Minds room, hosted by Beast. Good Burger, hosted by Pitbull. Sleepless in LA, and many more. If you want to get closer or you want to be a part of the show, go to Clubhouse, follow one of these rooms, or you look for a room titled with Wack100. These particular videos all made possible by the one and only Wack100. Get ready to vibe with me as we explore the hardest topics that need some real recognition in the streets. Let's jump right into it and show some love to this channel by hitting the like and or subscribe button. So, without further ado, hold it down. One mic on Wack.
Right, who passed away, Krishan's ex.
Yeah.
Hold on, don't get took off by Tink. Hold on, you may be stepping on
shit.
Tink toes. I think
Oh,
Tink
whatever.
planning on running a murder mystery.
Oh, with that little part in? Okay, I'll leave that for you too.
Yeah, Tink planning on running murder mystery. Gotta take away from her overall, cause I mean I called this one a couple weeks ago, months ago, but that last little things the sister went and did, I think, gave Tink enough for her to go do her murder mystery.
The sister meaning Krishan's sister?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's crazy because I just told
what did she
R&B.
say?
I just told R&B, and when she seen that shit, she said, "Nigga, you's a warlock." She said, "God damn, baby, you finna go to the bank like that?" Okay, you gonna hurry up and come back, right? All right. You know I got some big black t-shirts, some of my black t-shirts.
No, I'm not gonna go in there looking like a thug.
No, you can just put it on.
No.
No,
they'll do it quicker like this.
Yeah, I think we might have to. All right. Where Getty at? Bring your
Wack,
ass.
what up, bro? Hey, Wack, what up, bro?
Oh, here, run the content, nigga. You know what's going on. You in the hot seat.
Hey, Wack.
You gonna run your content, I'm gonna run your content. Nah.
It's all good, but I'm just gonna say, I don't know what you talking about, but I ain't gonna never go out my way to besmirch your name. You know I
No, listen, you in the hot seat.
I don't know what this is. But I gotta call somebody like, yo, Wack goddamn tripping. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck, Wack? I'm like, what I done did?
We going to the end of the content. And me and you gonna have a conversation about the end of your content. Listen, it's just a conversation. It's content.
Yeah.
What you mean, nigga? This is more content for your page.
Facts. All right, man. What's up, man?
Has an issue with Getty TV and
Getty Radio.
Getty Radio. So you got the content, right? We just go to the end of the content. Let's go to when you start talking.
Which video is this one?
Now you're gonna start some shit, Getty, because now you insulted my intelligence. You really hold on. Let me go get your content. Let me go get your content.
Yeah. I do a lot of videos, man. Hey, look, Wack, I'm just saying.
Okay. You do a lot. This nigga right here crazy.
I'm just saying, bro. I ain't gonna go out my way to smirch your name. I don't know what you talking about.
Listen, Getty, I'm all for the content. I'm for the content. There you go, Getty. Go, since I gotta send you your content. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on.
Yeah, I think you totally understand what content I'm talking about.
Hold on. Let me check it out. Hold on. All right, go ahead, Wack. That's
You
the
ain't
last.
gonna
That's
play
the
your
last joint I
content?
dropped.
I know. This is why I know you know what content you playing
I
right now.
figured it had to be that one. I was like, it's
No,
got
no,
to be
no,
this.
you didn't, because you didn't even say, Wack, are you talking about my
No.
last clip? You didn't even say it, Getty, but that lets me know I got you.
No. What
I
I'm
got
saying is, no.
The
Here's what I'm
fact that
saying,
you
Wack.
didn't want to
I
mention
think
it,
cause you ain't never hit me up on nothing. Like I ain't never got no
this
phone call like this
this
before. So I'm
is
like, damn, is
how
it
I
this one?
know,
I'm like,
Getty.
what the did I say?
So Getty.
What's up, bro?
You knew exactly what
But
content
you
I was
know,
talking about.
but you know, which I ain't gonna go out my way to
That
betray.
ain't got
If I
nothing to do
said
with the
something out
guy.
of pocket,
No, we about to
if we
have
can
a
clear it up,
conversation.
we can clear it up.
We
If I
are
say
on the
something out of pocket, we can
audio
clear it
app.
up.
This is Getty Radio. Right? Getty Radio
What up,
ran a
man?
false narrative on old
What?
Wack100. Now,
Was it, bro?
and then you know
Me
what?
doing
Oh, you know
commentary
where
on
I
these
get it
videos.
from? I
What?
get niggas that say, "See, Wack, you niggas like this, and you won't with me." But guess what? It's good content. Getty, it's good content. So go ahead on and go to the end where you start talking, saying, well, Wack this and this, that, and this, that, and we're going to just it. I'm DJ Wack100. I know how to do it, god damn it. Hold on, let me go to music. Let me see. What did the Dreas tell me? Music mode. Alright. Now, can y'all still hear me talking when I'm in music mode?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Big
we
up,
do.
Shadow Room. Welcome to
We gonna
100
run it for
Morning
old
Show.
Getty. Since Getty on some boo. My man, the Getster.
Bro, I ain't on no boo.
Ain't
Wack, you
nothing
know
wrong
better
with
than
it,
that, bro.
Getty.
you
Getty, ain't
know
nothing
better
wrong
than
with
that,
it.
Wack.
I ain't tripping.
Really?
We just finna we gonna have a conversation.
God damn, man. God damn.
That's it.
God damn. I gotta start back right foot.
Wack100's words against him, man, because, when the grid program information came out, Wack100 said, hey, man, when he heard about that, his heart dropped a little bit because him and Big U.
Hold on, this you
Got that conversation. All right, we're going to leave it right there. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this audio, man. We got Wack100 once again having a heated debate this time with the New York Goons and the Bloody Bunch on Clubhouse, and they're asking them the same question they've always asked them, man. Hey, what's really going on with Big U? What's really going on with the case? Why you not tied into the RICO? How you know about these charges? How you know about the grid program? How you know about Nipsey Hussle sex tape? How you know about this, that, and the third? What did you really do? What kind of business did you do? And Wack100 has always said he ain't do no illegal business with Big U. He ain't run with Big U in that way. So, they're kind of using Wack100's words against him, man, because, when the grid program information came out, Wack100 said, hey, man, when he heard about that, his heart dropped a little bit because him and Big U ran together for 17 years. And now it seems like, he's changing up his tune a little.
Okay. So how am I changing up my tune? You said it, Getty. Getty,
I
you
prefaced
said
that.
Oh, shit, y'all.
hold on,
Getty.
Getty, you said it. So how am I changing
prefaced
up
that
my...
with saying, I prefaced that with saying, you always said that you never done no illegal business with Big U.
They're always.
I prefaced that, but I prefaced that with saying that. You understand what I'm saying? I prefaced that with saying it. So when I'm commentating around what's being said in the audio.
Yes.
I always say, I preface that by saying, hey man, you always said you never done no illegal with Big U.
Okay. Now. I want to know what you meant by what you said. You said Wack is like he's backtracking. Listen, bro. Pitbull here, right? I've been knowing Pitbull just as long as I've been knowing Big U. Now, this is some real shit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And listen, I'm going to tell you the things I know about Pitbull. I know he's Muslim. I know he's NOI, right? I know his upbringing is out of the Harlem Crips. And I've learned in the last year or so that he does a lot of auction and car sales. People call him about. I've learned that since I've been on Clubhouse. Now, I'm pretty sure, I know who his wife was and I knew who he separated from, right? Boom. I'm pretty sure it's a whole lot more to Pitbull. But that's what I know of Pitbull. You get what I'm saying? So Getty, now let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Did you read the Big U indictment paperwork, the RICO paperwork?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about the males, not the two women. What do those people have in common? The males, the 5 males that's in his indictment, RICO. What do they have in common?
Outside of the fact that they 60s?
Oh no, let's stay right there. All of them from rolling 60s, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we look at Big U, looking at him, we could tell he's a man that likes to be in control, right? We could kind of say he's a man like to be in control of his situation.
I would say that.
Okay, so if he had 2 power rules, 2 brims, and a nigga from Venice Showline involved in some shit, can he control them the way he could control those 60s?
I wouldn't think so. You mean as far as West Coast politics is concerned?
He couldn't control them because these niggas got other neighborhoods. If a nigga could like go back to his hood, like, look, nigga, we doing this, and it's supposed to be 100,000, nigga, but we can double back and do this, and them, they enemies anyway. You see how this shit go? Mm-hmm. So, what I'm learning, right? Because again, my dealings with him was always on the legal side of it, right? I'm learning that it looks to me, and I could be wrong, that whenever he did some dirty work, he only did that with who?
According to the work, 60s.
That's it. So I want to know where I'm backtracking at. We got some more shit. We gonna press play. You said it. I ain't say it. When I learned of the grid, I said, yeah, I had to sit down for a couple days. You know why? Because I usually know what I'm dealing with. You get what I'm saying? If you ask Pitbull right now, if I was to find out, not to say he is, and I know he isn't, that he was selling pills, ask him what I answer his phone. Ask him.
Oh, he ain't gonna never talk to me again.
Like, bro, you gotta understand, like, when you talking about
that.
No, but Getty, so now let me tell you why I think your thing was Wack said he had to sit down. That must have meant something was going on. I get where you coming from. So let's
no,
plug
that's
in.
not what I meant.
But let's plug in everything else that comes with it. I would go to this man's home.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? He has ridden in a vehicle with me, which I don't allow a lot of people to do that with, right? So when I'm sitting here thinking about this shit, do you know what it feels like to find out a mother you thought who they was, that they somebody else?
Yeah.
And then you start to think like, damn, nigga, you could have been in the trick bag. So that's the sitting down. It wasn't, oh man, is a nigga gonna tell we did this or did that, cause we ain't did nothing. And I'm gonna be real at this point, with him approaching 59 and looking at the time he could, I really believe wholeheartedly at this point in his life, he wouldn't give a fuck if he had me doing some crazy shit. I believe nigga, I'd be the sacrificial lamb. This is a fact. I don't worry about it because
I believe that.
Listen, if I knew me and this nigga was dirty, you think I would have been hollering the grid program shit? Oh no. Nigga, hold on, Wack. You put too much light on this nigga, he get caught up. He can go tell about this. I ain't stupid. It's just the fact that I know we ain't got no dirt together. So you know what I'm saying? So that's the fun.
I get it. You confident in that. That's why I said before I prefaced that by saying you always said you ain't never done
Getty.
You trying to say I tried to run I ain't running no fuck by Wack. I would not do that, bro.
Getty. Now, Getty, what I am doing because you Getty. What I am doing because you Getty. Wack is doing this with you. I could have let the flow do it with you. Then you would have been content. Because they're going to say, Getty, you playing the 50. But I think I know Getty. I think I know Getty. So we're going to keep playing. Let's see what else you had to say.
It kind and saying, hey, man, you know, I ran with him, but I didn't run with him. We were cool, but we weren't cool. Yeah, I had a key to his house. We slept on each other's couches. We knew each other. We spoke to each other. My families knew his family. His family knew my family. I protected his son. He protected my family. You know, there was nothing going to go down between my family and his family. You know, his beef was really centered towards him, and Big U's beef was really centered towards Wack100. So a lot of people are speculating that a lot of things that Big U was accused of by the feds, that Wack100 maybe had some dealings in that as well. And if they feel that way, if he was running Big U in that way, what people are asking, why aren't you tied into this thing? Listen, was Wack100 a target of the feds? We don't know. Was Big U a target of the feds? Of course. Was Big U doing too much out there in the 60s? Of course, that's what got him locked up. Was Big U doing too much, like being too old school, you know, taking this, you know, moniker of being the leader of the rolling 60s, running your section a little too seriously, pressing people, lining people up, extorting people, leaning on people, calling out fades, DPing people, all of those things that come down with being a gang leader out there in the greater Los Angeles area? Yes, he was doing that, and I guess he went a little too far, right? He did a little too much and made someone go to the feds, because remember, that dude that was telling on him, he got hemmed up out there in Ohio. He got hemmed up in Ohio, and I guess he said, hey, man, I got some information for y'all. I know somebody doing some major extorting out there in the greater Los Angeles area, right? So that's how Big U ended up getting lined up with the feds, on top of the fact that they lined him up for the murder of Rayshawn Williams, right? And other than that, we don't know what else information they got. They had the man's phone tapped for years. Brick Baby's phone tapped for years.
So now, see, Getty, I took it to that point because this where you on some bull. They saying, cause Wack100 ran with this dude all them years, why he ain't this, why ain't that, why he ain't this, why ain't that. And when I heard you get to the part where it says they had Big U's phone tap, okay, so let me ask you something, Getty. If the phone tap started from January 2021 up into March of 2025, right? And this is Big U and Wack time frame, right?
Yeah.
So why Wack ain't in an indictment?
Because you ain't a part of it. Wack, I want you to understand something. So you like hearing me wrong. I think you read that wrong, what I said. Real talk.
No.
Here's what I said. I said, hold on, let me just say this. I said what I said. I said people are speculating. There's speculation. I didn't say you exactly were pointing the finger. I said, was Wack100 in the RICO? No. I said, was Big U in the RICO? Of course.
Yeah, but you're saying people are speculating. But didn't you
again you say, said we don't know if he was a target?
We don't know.
I said we don't know.
That's what you said. We don't know. You did not say no.
See, here goes the thing, Eddie. You reading the paperwork and you see the paperwork come from a wiretap, and it's coming from people internally saying things. So how you wouldn't know? So Gary, let me ask you a question. If I went through all your content, I said, hey, these 10 clips right here, I went through all these 10 clips. And they saying, Getty in there, talking about he robbed a bank, and nigga, the other niggas went and he didn't go and he said it. And I went through all the 10 clips, and I know nowhere in there did you ever say you robbed a bank. What do you expect Wack to say to these people? Me being who I'm supposed to be to you, Getty. Me being who Wack's supposed to be to Getty, and Getty being who he is. What would you expect?
You know that.
Okay, what would you expect me to say, knowing I went through this shit with a fine-tooth comb? I passed it to the team. I said, look, we're paying attention if Getty ever said he robbed a bank. That's all we paying attention to. And the team say, Wack, Getty never said it. I go through it again, up and down. And I know for a fact that you never said that in these clips. And they saying, nigga, that nigga Getty said he robbed a bank. How he ain't get caught with the rest of them? What would you expect me to say to these people?
I didn't do it.
Okay, so Getty, did you read the indictment?
Yeah.
You know what brought all this along. So why didn't you stand for me as you know I would stand for you and say, we read the indictment. This is wiretaps from Big U. Him and Wack wasn't dealing with each other. So it's obvious why he ain't caught up in this RICO. I could even respect it if you said, now, if this would have been wiretaps from 2005 up to 2020 or 2021, then maybe I could see the speculation. But guess what? These aren't those wiretaps because we don't know what was said and done in those years. This only covers 2021 to 2025, the years that these dudes didn't deal with each other.
Mm-hmm.
But no, Getty. You left it lingering. Broke my heart.
Wack, I did not leave it lingering, fam. I get what you're saying. I understand your point. That's a pointed point that you just made. But I did preface, I'm keep saying this. I did say that you always stated you never did no dirt with Big U. I got plenty of videos saying the same thing.
But you came right back with saying that he's backtracking.
Yeah, didn't you say I'm backtracking?
I did not say you was backtracking.
I'm like, nigga, what am I back? Well, let's keep it going. Let's see if we got some more juice.
You say he's changing his tune. That was your exact word.
I'm changing my tune. No, it's only one thing.
Yeah.
One thing that I've stepped out there for. And that's them coming with the narrative that Big U committed this alleged murder because this individual and his son were lovers, right? Yeah. I know his son. There's nothing feminine or gay about his son. So yes, I have stepped out there and said, that's a lie. That don't fit. It don't make sense. Even if he was that, which he wasn't, it was NFL, NBA, baseball, ain't nobody giving a fuck about nobody being gay. They don't care. That's over with, right? But I have stepped out there, and I'm going to tell you why I stepped out there, and I'm going to speak on this. All you out there with platforms, all you niggas, East Coast to the South to the West, to the Midwest, all y'all that call yourself Big U friends who have a platform, I know all y'all at some point met his family, because that's what he does if he fuck with you. Some of you niggas have been to his home, but ain't none of you niggas stepping out there as his comrade and saying, hey, y'all saying this, we don't know about the murder, but what we do know is that Dayon Henley, that plays for the San Diego Chargers or LA Chargers, is not gay. So y'all saying Big U when he killed this man because he found out they were lovers is totally incorrect. I'm the only nigga speaking up for the nigga. And I'm really doing it for his son because I know the young man and I know his mother. None of you other niggas, all you niggas he did podcasts for, ain't none of you niggas speaking up. None of you niggas. East Coast. What's the nigga name? The Spanish nigga name? I'ma call you on your shit. The K all rats dude, what's his name?
Pistol Pete.
Pistol Pete. Speak up. You know Dayon. Big U done been on your podcast 3-4 times. Speak up, bro. For that in that situation. Right? Trick. Speak up. You been to his home. Spent the night in his home. Speak up and defend Dayon, because y'all know goddamn well ain't nothing gay about that young man. All you niggas on the West Coast, he done did podcasts and shit for it. Speak up. See, Getty, I'm catching he backtracking because I'm the only nigga speaking up for that situation. And I'm just doing what a man's supposed to do, a man of honor supposed to do. We may have our differences. You know what most of these niggas would have did? Right? Most of these niggas would have been in my position. They would have ran with it and poured fuel on the fire. But Big U, even yourself is guilty because you know my son. You know what you told me about my son, Big U? Damn, Wack. damn, Wack, you raised this young man right. Man, I wish Huey could have followed in his footsteps, man. I didn't want the gang life for my son. A nigga would have thought your son would have been banged out. He don't even use profanity. You know my children, but never one time did Big U even speak up for mine. So what I'm showing people is what a real guy, the so-called real niggas, what a leader, what a man of honor is supposed to do, no matter what the devil or what the wicked cast upon you, and you call it wrong. For you to cast it back, you'll be wronger. So even with the positioning and the platform I got, because I could have took that narrative and enhanced it, but I would have been wrong because I know it's not true. I know that young man is not gay. If he was, that'd just be what it is, but he's not. So just because that man is down and he ain't here to defend himself, don't mean I'm going to stay quiet like some of these niggas. Some of you niggas called yourself his friend, and you niggas got platforms, and I ain't heard now one of you niggas, and I called out a few names, stand up and say, hey, that shit y'all saying about that man's son ain't right. I know his son. Some of you niggas done been in this man's home. Y'all done shook his son's hand. You done sat there with him. You done watched him practice. You done talked to him. Ain't nothing about he may be humble, right? He may be a little quiet, but his focus has always been his books and the motherfucking football field. That's always been that. I've never heard him cuz or crip, gang bang, none of that shit. This is my dealings with him. I've been knowing him since he been 5-6 years old. So I guess because why is Wack speaking up and he don't get along with this nigga, because I'm showing you what a man, what a father, what a dad knows to do, because I understand the damage that could do to a man and to that young man if this social media shit start rolling like that with a false narrative. So I don't know. Maybe I'm guilty of just being a real guy. And if that's the case, fuck it. I set my punishment for it. If they want to say, Wack, you a soft nigga for speaking up for Big U son not being gay, and that nigga said you and this, that's cool. I'm going to let him live with his fate and his truth, and I'm going to live with mine. So let's see what else you had to say.
Don't know what the feds really got, what they really got going on, and maybe what they had going on ain't have nothing to do with Wack100. But the New York goons ain't buying it, man. They're trying to say that he's a rat. They trying to say that he's a rat because a lot of the people out of New York City.
Could we use your house to trial our 24-hour bathroom upgrade system? We're looking for homeowners with...
Right? Or upset at the fact that Wack100 went at Jim Jones the way he went at Jim Jones. We already know that wiretap leaked of Jim Jones talking to Mel Murder about, you know, how 6ix9ine need to be violated or DP, and Wack100 took that information and said, hey, if the feds heard that phone call, they grabbed up 6ix9ine after their phone call. They did not grab up Jim Jones. Jim Jones got to be working, and that's all they said. You understand what I'm saying? They're upset about that because Wack has been on Jim Jones' head.
Well, Getty, there you go lying again. They didn't grab 6ix9ine up after that phone call. They grabbed 6ix9ine up after they heard shouting them on the phone talking about the nigga performing up in Connecticut, and they was going to go up there and do something to him. That's when they grabbed 6ix9ine up, if you really want to be real. They didn't give a... That phone call is, hey, this is real shit. If Wack was on a wiretap telling a nigga, hey, you got to go do this to him, and had this nigga do this, and his security ain't got no guns, hit the security first. When you hit the security, they'll get away from him, and then you deal with him. His security got hit. You don't remember at the restaurant? They hit the security. So I'm saying, hey, Jim, you're telling the shot caller, who they thought was a shot caller, Mel Murder, what not to do and what to do and how to do it. People ain't stupid. They got specialists that know from other snitches would violate, super violate. They know what all that means. You get what I'm saying? You know, it's like a nigga talking about, yeah, I got it, you know, this. They know what that means. You know what I'm saying? Yo, my nigga, I'm gonna send 5 birds. They're gonna say that's identified as 5 kilos. So how are you tying me to why they ain't grabbed? The feds ain't got me on no wiretap talking to nobody in Big U's Rico.
You said I tied you to that?
You just said it. You said you said it.
Yeah, 2. No,
I ain't said you said it.
No. I said what the people are, the goons were saying. The New York dudes. That the video was about. I'm commentating about what's going on in the audio. I didn't tie you to it. I didn't say personally me. I think that way about you. No, of course not.
Okay, hold on.
Ain't have nothing to do with Wack100, but the New York goons ain't buying it, man. They're trying to say that he's a rat. They trying to say that he's a rat because a lot of the people out of New York City, right, are upset at the fact that Wack100 went at Jim Jones the way he went at Jim Jones. We already know that wiretap leaked of Jim Jones talking to Mel Murder about, you know, how 6ix9ine need to be violated or DP'd, and Wack100 took that information and said, hey, if the feds heard that phone call, they grabbed up 6ix9ine after that phone call. They did not grab up Jim Jones. Jim Jones got to be working, and that's all they said. You understand what I'm saying? They're upset about that because Wack has been on Jim Jones' head ever since then. Now, is there any evidence, concrete evidence that Jim Jones is telling on anything? No, it isn't. Is there any concrete evidence that Wack100 is telling on anything? No, it isn't. Is there any paperwork? People keep talking about the Texas case, but Wack is saying, hey man, that was dismissed in the interest of justice, right? So even when Wack100 provided the dismissal in this, even when Wack100 provided the dismissal in the Texas case in the interest of justice, a lot of people are saying, hey, that's evidence, right, that you cooperated, because what's the interest of justice?
Now, here go another slug you shoot. Yo, Getty, have you ever Googled the definition of
that's
interest?
Not a slug.
Hold on. Have you ever went and Googled definition of dismissal of interest of justice in the state of Texas?
Definitely.
And what did it tell you? What did it tell you in the state of Texas? Who's the only person?
Not that. That's what I was saying.
Who's the only person in the state of Texas that can rule interest of justice?
I wouldn't know that.
The judge.
Be honest with you, the judge.
The DA and nobody else. It's the judge. So hold on, let's just get.
What was the interest of justice that they let your case go, that they dropped your case, right? That's the angle people are coming from. And then you got the whole CS2 back thing. They're saying that, hey, Wack100 is actually CS2 back. And I will say this, whoever the hell this agent is, if Wack100 was cooperating and you put him in the paperwork as a confidential informant and you named him CS2 back, bro, that's reckless as hell. I don't know what's really going on with that.
See, you making a lot of insinuations.
That's not an insinuation, Wack. I'm saying that it's not real. In so many words, I'm saying that none of that is real.
No, you said whoever it is who may have.
I think you're reading it wrong, good brother.
Okay.
You really are, man. I got you. I see what you're saying.
I'm going to let you ask.
You're reading it wrong, bro.
Like, 50, you making a lot of insinuations. See, because I can start insinuating shit too. Like, I know how to play the insinuating game. I don't f with it because one thing about it, when I say it, my credibility stands on it. Nigga tell you what, Wack say he got something, he got it. Because he always provided. You making a lot of insinuations. So what the crazy part about it is, did you watch when Aunt Hefe just came on No Jumper?
Aunt Hefe, yeah. I watched that interview, most of it. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, what did Aunt
Hefe is the guy, the YouTuber, right?
Yeah, what did Aunt say? He said, I know the main streets. I was in jail with the main streets. The main streets didn't call me and said, Wack ain't had a thing to do with our case. What are these niggas talking about? That was all mainstream. Yeah, but
I done made a few videos about that, good bro.
Hold on.
Yeah.
You making a lot of insinuations as if starting with
I get your point.
Backtracking. What am I backtracking? I ain't backtrack. I didn't say the grid program didn't exist. I told you, actually what I did say was I'm starting to understand why he kept that phone, that hot ass phone. Cause we found the Sue Surf shit 2022. We see he's hot. He's named in it, right? They got his socials and everything. You familiar with the Sue Surf paperwork, right?
Not necessarily, but yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. That's you an East Coast nigga?
I know Big U's in the work.
Okay. He's in the work as a rolling 60 leader that's in the middle of providing guns and drugs, and they got all his socials and everything there. This 2022, right? But yet in 2025, he still has the same phone. Mm-hmm. Right? Now, this was crazy. This is what I believe, that he thought his relationship with the LAPD was going to somehow cover him from whatever came his way. Because there's no way you still on the same number calling people saying, hey, don't talk about the murder. I'm going to call you and pull up. Hey, go over there and get the surveillance cameras, pull them out. Hey, I'm sitting there saying either he that stupid or he thought he was covered. Because his phone number was still the same. Mm-hmm. Let's see what else you got to say.
But Wack is saying, hey, that's doctored up, that is not real, that is not true, and there's no concrete evidence out there. But what's good for the goose is good for the gander, man. And a lot of people feel, especially the New York goons, man, I guess they feel that Wack100 throws the snitch word around too much, the rat word around too much, the cooperator word around too much, so they're turning...
I throw it around, I provide the documents. Which one?
Damn, Getty, what's wrong?
Which one? I throw it around.
Man, you playing the 50, Getty. Sound like you playing the 50, homie.
Getty, I throw it around.
Getty, you playing the 50, Getty. That's crazy, bro.
Getty, do I throw it around or do I provide Getty? Do I throw it around or do I provide the work?
You provide work, yeah.
Okay, so why you didn't reference that Wack always provides the work? You saying what's good for the goose, good for the gander. What are you?
Wack, the point that I was making, is people are saying that you call a person a rat. They're saying they're doing the same thing. You listen, I'm saying they're pretty much doing the same thing. They don't have nothing, but they only saying it because you're saying it. You understand what I'm saying?
Do I provide the document?
Yeah, you do.
Okay, so for me to call a nigga something, I provided, right?
Right.
Oh, okay. Let's finish it up.
Around and doing the same thing to him. That's all this is, man. So there's really no concrete evidence that anybody is telling pertaining to, I guess Wack100 situation directly, Jim Jones situation directly. Now, as far as Big U, Brick Baby, Loose Cannon told on himself. We don't know what's really going on with that. Brick Baby did have a sealed case, a sealed file, the whole 9 yards, man. He had a sealed case and he was let out on the streets to work allegedly for 2 years after he caught a major gun case, being a convicted felon with previous gun cases. So you can speak to that situation right there. But Wack100 ain't really had no run-ins with law enforcement, man. So the New York goons ain't buying it. I guess everybody else ain't buying it. But y'all tell me what y'all think, man. Who do you think won in this debate? Are the New York goons on or something? Or is Wack100 looking real good in this situation, coming into the lion's den, into their space, answering all questions and not running from any smoke? Y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section, man. This has been Getty Radio. I appreciate you being here. Please.
Getty, I will say this. I'm going to say this. The world I come from, it ain't ran on right and wrong. It's ran on politics. But I think you understand that. Getty?
Absolutely. Hold on.
Politics say, Getty, you're supposed to be a little more in depth when it comes to covering me on shit that you know that you have that's actual and factual. You handle that as if you ain't part of the team.
Really, Wack?
Get the fuck
Okay,
out.
where the media team at? Let's bring your brothers
Wack,
up here.
Wack,
Right?
that ain't.
Okay, Dale is a real neutral nigga. Where Dale?
You.
Am I telling the
What's
brother
good?
anything wrong?
Nah, Getty know. He know how to do it and how not to do it. So he'll go back, he'll fix it. But he know what's going on.
Yo, see what I'm saying, Getty? Now listen. I'm handling you like a brother right now.
Wack, I got you. I
I'm handling
understand
you
your
like
point.
a
I
brother
get where
right
you coming
now.
from, brother.
Listen,
I get it, man.
Listen, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. This is a real story. Pet Bull tells y'all this story. This is a real shit. This the type of nigga I am. If I with you, I with you. This is real shit. And you one of the dudes that been able to reap a lot of benefits off with Wack, right? I ain't telling you to lie, but I'm telling you to utilize the information that you have, right, when it comes to lies being told to clear it up. This is why it's the strength of my media team. Once upon a time, Pitbull was out doing the work detail. Some things happened. We went to leave. Our bus was stopped. I knew what they was looking for. I knew exactly what happened. But I wasn't finna allow them to grab him. So you know what I did? I went out there and nose to nose put myself in a line of fire because I knew what he did. He did it for the right reason, but I knew they was going to charge him the wrong way. I did that because I'm supposed to show favor to my brother when he's right. Now the question is, you don't want me looking at you like you not my brother because I allow you to do what you do because I see you as my brother. But if you telling me not to see you that way, then I will definitely make the adjustment.
Nah, it ain't. You know it ain't like that, Wack. You
I'm
know I fuck
having a
with you. But I'll say this. Look, I'll say this.
Conversation.
Huh?
That's it. If YouTube told you we're gonna contact Wack100 and see if he's okay with all the content on him you have, are you gonna worry about that? Are you gonna even have a thought in your mind that a concern?
Not a major one.
So you would have a thought. That lets me know.
A bit, not a major one. Like I would be wondering, like, why the hell they contacted me about this? You understand what I'm saying?
No, but
I wouldn't be like, oh shit.
The fact that you would be worried about them, Ray Gibbs, if YouTube sent you a thing and said, we're gonna contact Wack100 to see if all this content you have on him is good or he wants us to strike you, Ray gonna laugh. He ain't gonna think nothing
like, nah, they capping. They better get the out of here.
Because if we supposed to be on the same side, listen, Getty, look, you know, I face my fires, right? I don't hide shit.
Hey, we on the same side, brother.
By any means, right? Run your content. But nigga, you playing the 50 because you
Wack, I can't go with that.
You have the things.
That's crazy. I think Getty playing the 52, man.
Nah, man.
Getty,
no.
Let me tell you what I expected you. I've never had to say this to nobody else. Let me tell you what I expected you.
Yeah.
If you have the tools or you have the weapons to debunk or fight something back because you have it, nigga, I got it right here.
Yeah.
I expect you to do that. I ain't telling you to go live.
All right, I got you. You know what?
I got you to do no lying. No, but if you got shit,
you're right about
you
that.
You working with us, nigga.
You right about that, Wack. I'll take that. You right about that. I ain't got no rebuttal. You right, bro.
You definitely.
You right. Now I will say this, man. When you run your mouth as much as I do from time to time on my YouTube channel, man, you're gonna put your foot in your mouth, and I did that time. But I ain't got no malice for you, bro. I with you. You know that.
Well, listen. If I really genuinely thought, I would have handled this a total different way. But you know, this is the 100 side, and we do address things on the floor. And shit, everybody get their turn and their chance to be content. Now, I'm just learning.
I ain't ducked the smoke.
I'm just learning.
I was surprised when I got the call last night.
You let Brock pack you up, and you got emotional.
Nah, man. Hey, look, hold up, man. Hold on. Let me just address that right quick.
Yeah, what the? I don't know what's going on.
Let me just say this. Before that don't bother me, right? Brock didn't pack me up. We had an argument and shit like that. But I'm gonna tell a story around that.
Okay.
But one thing I didn't, like appreciate is the next morning, Brock kind of told Dale I was talking shit about him, and I didn't do that, bro. Like I wasn't talking shit about Dale. Like I was gonna come clear it up.
I don't even know what happened.
I didn't say shit about him, but the argument didn't bother me. It was, people argue. Words don't. We just had a little spat or whatever the case may be. We went at it.
What did you say about Dale for Brock to say that?
I didn't say nothing about him. That's what I'm saying. He came in the next morning and told Dale that I ran a false narrative or that I said something about him. I said, bro, I did not mention Dale. I did not mention the YouTubers in the middle of our argument. He brung up the YouTubers.
What he was referring to?
Yeah, but he brung up the YouTubers, and I said, bro, they ain't got nothing to do with this. It's between me and you. He started talking about the YouTubers and numbers and how many numbers people get and, who get the most views. I didn't start talking about
my whole team do great for themselves. Dale does
great for
himself as well.
I didn't mention that, though. That's why I didn't. That's one thing I didn't appreciate.
Everybody.
And I just wanted. I know Dale on the stage, bro. I ain't run your name. I ain't say nothing crazy about you, bro. I didn't.
If Dale thought you did, he'd called. He'd said something. Listen.
Yeah, I'm on mute.
Why'd you? They say you been gone. I said, what you? Come on, bro. You know we don't do no running.
I didn't run. I came back. I told you, I came back the next day. The next day I came back. Hold on, Wack. Let me just say this. The next day I came back, right? I was in the goo. I raised my hand. Brock was on stage there. I raised my hand. Nobody brought me up. So I was like, you know what?
Hold on, team. Y'all know just because 2 months away with get
into it.
Shit. That's okay. You don't bring them up. But now, Getty, so why you ain't say nothing to me about that's going on? Because I'm like...
I mean, I don't want to do that, bro.
Nah.
I don't want to put you... I don't want to bring you in the middle of it. I think that's kind of...
I don't give a about y'all back and forth. But if you telling me it's getting to a point because of y'all back and forth, now niggas ain't bringing you up. That's the issue. Y'all back and forth, but I don't know what it is. I ain't heard it.
It won't nothing. It really won't nothing. It was just machismo.
I was just concerned because they said you start crying real bad.
Yeah, right.
Somebody in the background took the phone and said, why would you make him feel this way? So I'm just to let you know, bro. They got a new federal charge called making a man cry. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Nephew called up. It wasn't that many tears.
Wow, fam. That didn't happen. It ain't that. It won't that serious, my nigga.
yo, Getty, shit happened for a reason because I went to sleep last night. Last night, boy, it might would have been a different kind of fire because I was looking for your ass last night. God damn it.
I know. I was asleep. I hit you up. I called you when I woke up. I said, damn. Because somebody hit me up like, yo, bro, Wack goddamn tripping.
You know the crazy part about it?
Did?
You know that I wasn't tripping. Dang. I never said nobody. I never said I was tripping. But they just know me. I said I got this clip with Getty ass, and everybody knew something was up. They didn't even hear this. This is their first time hearing it.
Yeah.
I didn't play it. I didn't even tell them nothing. I didn't tell them shit. But it's content. The crazy part about the New York room, right? And it's real.
I got you, Wack. I'm gonna take that motherfucker.
This the crazy part about it, right? Is I really be trying to have a conversation with them. But the more they can't run their narrative, it ain't about running the narrative, nigga. Let's just talk about what's real. They just start hollering all kind of weird shit, which makes them look like, well, damn, Wack came in here, nigga, in the lion's den, because you put his name in the title, and now you can't have a conversation. It seemed to me like, for years, the narrative was, Big U don't fuck with you. And my narrative was, nigga, I was the plug, not him. Now, when some shit hit the fan, why you ain't in the indictment? Well, nigga, you been screaming he don't fuck with me for years, right?
Yeah.
But I'm really starting to learn a lot of these people haven't even read the indictment. Because if you read the indictment, this shit is crazy. Like, my nigga, like,
yeah,
bro, Getty, did you read the indictment?
Oh yeah. I got a few videos on it. Yeah, I read it on. I got
My
some videos.
niggas, I'm like, well, what about this? Don't you understand? Like, my nigga, like, I called Marley Marl because I know he's the platinum producer studio. I definitely called him and asked him. He said, Wack, I wasn't there. I was at the Aria with a chick, spent the night with a chick. When I came home, my security told me he drew down on the niggas and told me that he just called and asked us to leave the house. He said, I'm gonna be real. I'm confused on why he came out here over here. And when a nigga said leave the house, Wack, you know how it is. I don't know if he telling me some niggas coming to get me. I don't know what he telling me to leave the house for. So the police asked me, did he ask y'all to leave the house? He said, Wack, they already got the shit on the wiretap of him asking the band to leave the house. I said, yeah, he asked us to leave the house. For what reason? I didn't know. They like, well, they sent money to your security to buy a DVR. He said, well, you got to talk to him about it. Fuck you talking about? I don't know. Yeah, did he ask me to leave the house? Yeah, we left the house. Right? He said, but I don't know nothing about no kid in the murder. I didn't see the kid at my house. None of that shit.
Right. What?
So Getty, here it go, right? It be a lot of shit going on, right? And I'm gonna be real. My media team is a reason why 90% of it I don't gotta worry about it, right? Like, look, like this type of shit. Let me show you some shit. I just seen this one. This is crazy. Watch this one. They do this type of shit. But you always fill in the blanks on it, so I don't got it. Damn. Yeah, watch this, Getty. This is the type of shit. This is why when my team is running the content and you got all the facts, you got to be on point, right? Now I'm about to play some oddball nigga put up. And he says, Wack100 reveals the reason Big U unalived the football player. This is his narrative. So check this out. It was that he found out that the rapper and his son, Dayon, were lovers. And he was scared that if this got out, he would be affected in the NFL. Now, there's a few key things. One, there's people that have came out in all sports that it doesn't. Yeah, there was. But two, let's get to the real part of it. I'm just saying. So he left it at that, right? Now I'm about to run you the real clip. Here's the real clip.
Look, if he's convicted, Big U faces 20 years for RICO, 30 years for bank fraud, 20 years for the Hobbs Act, 10 years for the Mann Act, tax evasion, 5 years, not paying tax returns, another 1 year. Basically life at his age.
Yeah, because he's 58. Yeah. He'll be 59 on the 29th of November. Him and Game share the same birthday. Mm-hmm. So it's easy for me to remember. He'll be 59 this year. Even on a 20-year, even if he was to get a 20-year situation,
with the
that
feds,
puts him out at 75.
85%.
Put him out at 75.
75.
And he still had, the best case scenario, I thought about it, right? Let's say he was to get everything ran together up under a 20. Yeah. And let's say he goes to Nevada, right? Because even on the murder case, they have some things, and then they don't have some things. And even
and I just want to clear up, because multiple people have said this, like, oh, Big U, you know, the victim had Big U's DNA under his fingernails.
No, that was wrong.
So I just want to address it on Vlad TV. They're saying the DNA was inconclusive for Big U.
It was Tory Lane style.
Right, but definitely not the driver's DNA, but inconclusive on the Big U side. So it could be or it could not be, but that's a reasonable doubt.
Well, the driver from LA to Vegas, they say, was Sylvester Robinson. Right? So if you read the paperwork, Sylvester's he stays at the studio. Right now, where the things they have with the reading the indictment paperwork is they have his phone going off at the studio, right? Then they have the witness, which is security guard, stating that he did arrive to the studio, him and Robinson. That's where they say he pulled it. Oh shit, I'm tripping. His gun because he wasn't expecting anybody. That was Marley Marl's studio. Marley Marl's out with a chick at the Aria Hotel. He's on the strip. He don't think nobody's coming to the studio. He's not there, right? So this is why the security wasn't alerted that somebody was going to show up. So you got the security identify them getting there. Then you got the phone going off. Where it gets a little weird at is you have the time the phone went off, they went to an Airbnb. The Airbnb Ring camera catches Big U and the individual going into the Airbnb. So that creates a timestamp, right? That's the middle. They got the time the phone went off and the Airbnb. It also shows what time they left the Airbnb. And allegedly from that document, it says the victim had his suitcase and everything with him. So what they did was, the next time the phone comes on, it's back at the studio. Right. So it's a 48-minute triangle. So what they did was, the time to get from studio to Airbnb, they have that at like 15 minutes, right? So if that's at 15 minutes, if they'd have went straight back to the Airbnb, then you have 30 minutes, right? It's an 18-minute lapse. So what they done was, they went from studio to Airbnb, where they can see the Airbnb time. And then they went Airbnb to where they found the body, how much time it takes to get there. And then they went from where the body was found back to the studio, where the phone came back on, right? So the Airbnb kind of is in the middle of it, because it kind of like puts everybody somewhere. I think they found whatever they say they found. I don't even think it was on the body. It might have been on the sock or something like that. Whatever they say. It's kind of like how they had Tory Lanez, his case. It could be, could not be. So when you got the security and you got the Ring camera footage, right? That's the kind of like, But the you don't know. There's no gun. I don't believe they had a vehicle. You can fight the the DNA, and the motive is a little off, because this song the motive was the biggest thing for it, because like, okay, so Big U killed a rapper nobody has ever heard of doing a song nobody will ever hear. Yeah, but they're playing some song and I'm listening to it, and I don't hear no. Me knowing you say you heard the song. Yeah, they played the song. Oh, right, that is supposed to be, but it be like references the big man with the money, something about a 38, but it doesn't really. It's no diss. But even if it wasn't, so it's not even a diss song. No, listen, it's not a diss song. I didn't hear no diss. Okay, and that's even crazy. If it was a diss, right? I could see Big U lining him up with some of his little homeboys. Yeah, doing it himself? No, nah. At age 7 at the time? Ridiculous. And then now they got this weird thing now, which it kind of, I hate to say it, it kind of helps his case, because now the narrative is the victim and Big U's son, and I'm going to tell you where they got this from. In the indictment, it's a phone call allegedly from Big U to his son, right? And he says, don't talk about the murder of RW to nobody. Now, when people hear the son right now, the only son that people's looking at is the one that plays for the NFL, Dayon Henley, right? Big U has 3 sons, right? Dayon's not a gang member. He doesn't participate in street activity. Nice young man, watch him grow. But this is the part that's getting weird. Now they're saying Well, Big U's motive wasn't the rap song. It was that he found out that the rapper and his son, Dayon, were lovers. And he was scared that if this got out, he would be affected in the NFL. Now, there's a few key things. One, there's people that have came out in all sports that it doesn't affect.
Yeah, there was
But two, let's get to the real part of it. I've been knowing this young man since he's been about 7, 8 years old, right? There's nothing feminine or nothing gay about Dayon Henley, right? So I don't know who started that one. Yeah, me and Big U got our problems, we got our issues, but whenever it came down to his children, I've been in situations since we've been at it where I've stepped up to the plate for his children. And you know what? I'm gonna give credit where credit's due. Maybe 2022-ish or 2023, in the heart of our beef, my daughter and her mother went to Crenshaw High to the celebrity basketball game. A bunch of people sending me pictures. Yo, Wack, man, you better get some people up there, right? So in the picture, you know what I see? About 8 feet, 5 feet behind them. Guess who I see?
Big U?
Big U. And when I seen Big U was that close to him, you know what I knew? They were good. Regardless of what me and him going through, right? They were good. And this at Crenshaw High. This 2022, 2023. Like, people sending me photos like, yo, you better. But once I seen him in the picture in the building, I knew I didn't have to worry about it. Same way with his son, with his middle son, right? He was in the situation, I was in the building. And I made sure his son got home safe. So in this situation, they need to kill that. It's nothing. They said, oh, he wore his jewelry. Hey, it's grown men today that wear other men's jewelry. Watches, chains, medallions. I see it all the time. That doesn't make them to be lovers. If they homies, they homies.
Well, I mean, why would you want to kill your son's boyfriend? What's that going to do? Not make him be gay? Well, just find a new boyfriend.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying.
Unless it's like a older man molesting a young boy, then I get it. Now, if you say RW was 40 and his son was 12 or 15, then I can see why you might kill that guy. But just as a father,
I know
a regular boyfriend who's the same age as your son, who cares?
I know all his children.
I'm just saying it's all bullshit.
All his children. I know all 3 boys. I know his 2 daughters. His one daughter is like, I think she's older than his oldest boy, vice versa. I know all their characters, all their demeanors. Dayon is a total opposite of everybody else. Calm, cool, collective. He ain't got nothing to do with the streets. He's athletic, right? His oldest son is probably the closest thing to being like Big U when it comes to just being quiet and subtle but explosive when he want to be. The middle son was always what I say our headache, because he was just the busybody. You get what I'm saying? But none of them have ever displayed any signs of going that route. And it's kind of crazy that since he's in jail that they're saying that. He I believe he led his team in tackles at the Chargers. All he did was work hard his whole life to get to that playing field. It's a sad thing. His pops was going through what he's going through, and then that they're even tying him to something that has to do with somebody that was a close friend of his. But it's even more savage for the internet and somebody in the media that probably live in Maine somewhere to come up with this narrative that people right here are really running with, right? People that say that like they cool with Big U, right? Me and Big U got our issues, but when it comes to certain things, especially involving the kids, they not there to be attacked like that, especially under false pretense. That's what's crazy. Took the clip and stopped it as if this Wack said it. I don't really worry about this type of shit because I got a media team out there that I know when it comes to the facts, they gonna take that what the other nigga did, and then they gonna do their narration. They gonna say, well, let's listen to the full clip, and then it becomes content for y'all to get y'all views, get paid off of it, right? And then on my side of it is my team helped debunk and put the real out there. So Getty, you gotta understand when it comes to the media team, Media team can't be playing the 50, bro.
Wack, I ain't playing the 50. I got you. I hear what you're saying. I got you.
I'm gonna be real.
I understand.
It's more them than us.
I understand.
It's more them than us.
I got you.
The team got y'all niggas following us up. It's more of them than us. But when it comes to us, especially when you know you got the facts, I definitely expect you to speak to facts. That's all I'm saying.
That's a fact, good brother. Like I said, man. Hey, that's on me. I feel I understand exactly where you coming from, bro. No malicious intent, but I got you. I get it.
Yeah, because I still think I was getting the kickback when Brock packed you up.
Pack me up.
Oh
shit.
We might have to give that nigga Gaddy immediate team DP, huh?
Hey. I get a DP.
Hey, Gaddy, what? Wayne Day, nigga, you already know how we do.
Hey, that nigga Gaddy.
We going up.
I started to think, let me be real. When I was listening to this
That's my
shit,
nigga,
bro,
man. I gotta give him a hard time.
Listen, when I'm listening to this nigga, I started to think. I said, R&B, I think this nigga got a picture of you sitting up there on this counter. And I think this nigga mad. Because this nigga gets wrong with this. Hey. Good for the goose, good for the cat.
Hey, nah, Wack, look, when you text my phone, talking about, yo, I need to holler at that nigga Getty, I said, oh, man. I said, uh-oh. I said, I know that text right there. Get your ass in the room, nigga. Get your ass in the room. Hey, Getty, don't feel bad. Wack done flamed me up a couple times, too. It's all good. And I put it on my channel. You feel me? You gonna make some good money off that shit, my nigga. You know, we live and learn. And you just gonna move forward in a positive direction.
Hey, like I said, man.
But here go the thing,
I run my
Getty.
mouth a lot on that channel, bro. I put my foot in my mouth.
This is what you gotta look at. Even within you being addressed, nigga, you got some new content.
That's a fact. That's definitely going up, bro.
What you mean?
Well, you know, hey, Wack, you know how many people? That's what I'm saying. I'm like, Wack must not be knowing what's going on, because, bro, my comment section be killing me, bro. They be like, nigga, what? Getty don't say nothing bad about Wack.
But Getty, watch this though, Getty. But Getty, watch this though.
Dragging my ass.
I tell y'all listen, the reason why I don't mind a nigga run it, but just address it with what you got. Like, nigga, like, it's certain shit that I know. And a lot of people and I tell them, like, you sure you want to have this conversation? Like Big Chuck, no. He'll be like, nah, Wack, let me call you. He learned his lesson, because if I go to saying that shit, he know I know some shit, I got some shit. I just sit back and watch a nigga run around and chase his tail. But a lot of this shit y'all have, because what happens is you get these new people pop up, but y'all got all the old history. Like, and those people, I think y'all been lacking on. Those people, when they do that, they giving y'all free content, because all you got to do is take what they just saying today, based upon what they didn't know from what you got from 2 years ago, throw your commentator in there and put it up. It's another clip. You get what I'm saying? You got a lot of new people who
repurpose.
Yeah, and they say shit, and it's like, I got addressed in 2021. I got that shit. That's when Wack was in there with, and boom, 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 take what they saying and be like, now what this dude don't know, because he's a newcomer, and you new guys will do this already, and then just take that. You ain't got to do shit but an edit. Put it up. It's going to go. Like, they giving y'all free. These new niggas give y'all free shit because they don't have the history of the content that y'all got. Like this dude, what's this nigga, this Stack City. Yo, Stack, you ain't even been around, bro. Like, nigga don't even talk to you because you don't know what the going on. You a nigga popped up 2 years ago. You just did a year in jail, so you been around a year. 1 minute you but bloody bunch, the next minute you ain't. This is the same dude who I ran into in Florida, didn't know him, and he asked me for a picture. That nigga. Wack, could you take a picture with me? Could you give me a drop? All right, where you from, bro? Where you from? Miami. That's what you want me to say, Miami? What's your name? And this nigga said, nigga, you say I was the only nigga outside. Nigga, I just ran into you at the Faja shop, nigga, in Miami. What the f*** is you talking about? Nigga, I just put some sauce on it. And this nigga running with it. You said, nigga, I pulled up. That nigga said, oh my God, Wack100. I said, what's up, homie? Bro, could I get a drop? Yeah, hold on, bro. Let me go in there and get these files. Let me come out. I come out. I'm like, what's your name? All right, where you from? All right, cool. Turn on the camera. This nigga on the side of me smiling with 2,000 teeth in his mouth. And now he like, Wack said I was the only one outside. Well, I'm going to be real. By the firehouse store over there in the boondocks and Hallelujah, wherever the fuck little city that was, you definitely was the only nigga outside. Now, what you doing standing in front of the store for the women's girdles, I don't know.
That nigga be asking some stupid ass questions too.
This what I'm saying. That's why I be like, bro, I don't even, he ain't you. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? You ain't even been around. You ain't been around. Like, nigga, you asking me some dumb shit that don't make no sense. But again, Gaddy, it's all right. I believe that, you know, Gaddy, don't let me find out, bro. You've been taking money from Deuce Sims. I've been hearing rumors, Gaddy.
Nah, hell no. Them niggas. Hell no.
Oh, shit, y'all.
Remember that nigga ran my name? He called me a sucker because when I came and introduced myself to you like 3 years ago.
Yeah, but it's crazy. He come in, hey, Wack, what up? I'm Deuce Sims. You know, I got the song Do You Brimming off of Fruittail. Okay, homie. Man, I just want to with you because we do some business. I got a company active. Where you from? I'm going to call your homies. I called over there. They say, Wack, he beat him during the trunk. We ain't seen him since he been out. He been in Minnesota, Madison, Wisconsin for 15 years. I said, bro, the homies, niggas I grew up with say they don't really know what's happening with you, bro. I'm cool. I don't want to do nothing with you. I sign off on that little song for y'all with my Mexican group here. Y'all can do your shit. I ain't tripping. That's it. And then from that, nigga, after that, when I didn't want to with him, it was the Wack campaign. Beforehand, go listen to that room with Roddy Ricch when I brought Roddy Ricch in the room. He nice as a mother.
Yeah.
Now that day went crazy. That day
I remember
that
shit.
That nigga said, well, I said, but why you ain't told him that? Nigga, I would. I said, nigga, I get him in here. Wack called him, he gonna come in here. He ain't here. Shit, watch this.
That nigga came right on in. That nigga got the stuttering.
That nigga. Yo, who's that? Tink? Or that's Evan?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that was one of my rooms.
I stopped him. I told him you was gonna do that shit on Murder Mystery, so
what, Christian Rock?
Yeah, I told him you was gonna run that on Murder Mystery, but yeah, that I've always kind of said that it was
not my Murder Mysteries, not my boring Murder Mystery.
I always said that it's someone right to that shit, but the sister, yeah, she giving up the goods.
Oh yeah, Taseki, whatever her name is.
Whatever her name. I ain't never met none of them people.
Yeah, Taseki. It took me a minute to. Yeah, I think it's Taseki.
Taseki songs.
Yeah. But Getty, so my only question: are you a part of the media team so we can know when we giving our shout outs and shit? Cause
I mean, I'm OG media team. I've always been a part of the team.
Here we go. Rep your shit then, nigga. Rep your shit.
I pop in and pop out every now and then. I don't be on Clubhouse every day, but I be in and out. I disappear for a little bit and pop back in.
Getty ain't in the group chat.
Nah, put him in there, Wack.
Oh no.
Put him in there.
I always throw him in on my reset.
Getty one of them contracts with the YouTube people.
Yeah,
yeah. We was talking about that yesterday, but Shenanigans was like it was just the three of them, so I just wanted to be for sure.
Getty been around. Getty got some strong money.
Yeah, Getty been around.
Subs you got over there? Getty got like 60,000, 70,000 subs.
64,000.
Yeah.
Or I thought that nigga was in the who was media. Oh, he ain't in the.
I think I'm in a group with you and somebody else, Wack. Not the.
I'm gonna put your 919 number with the media team. You still got that one?
Yeah.
I know the other one was your man.
The one you text me my YouTube video to. That one.
Create. What the fuck? Cause they itching to do that one.
Yeah, I already got it.
Shout out to Getty Radio, the rest of the media team.
Oh, good, yeah. I'm
go.
taking that shit down, nigga.
No, I don't, man. Shit, I was shit. Maybe you want to leave it
what
up
it's
and
gonna
do.
Maybe
you want to do.
I mean, I can repurpose it. I can re-edit it.
Maybe you want to do a part 2 of the. Maybe you
repurpose. Getty.
Yeah, I can repurpose.
But you definitely got to put this. Gonna be the
put
one.
Put this
though.
on that shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna put this one. This one going up. Definitely, all of it too. I ain't even gonna. You know, I'll take my lick, my nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, we live and we learn, brother. You feel me? There it goes.
I am reincarnated. I was stargazing. Life goes on, honey, and all my babies.
Yeah, love. This shit finna go crazy. This shit finna go crazy.